Good evening, and welcome to my exhibition of Modern Art Movements by Jennifer Lee. I want to start out by letting you know a little bit about what is in my exhibition. Art is an expression of the artist. It can be visual, audible, or a live performance, which is my favorite. It can be simple, it can be off-the-wall crazy, it can be breathtaking and beautiful, or it can be terrifying. Art does play with our emotions. But one thing is for sure is that art is always changing. It is moving forward with the times. The movements that I have chosen for my exhibition are Expressionism, Surrealism, and the Mexican Muralism. I have 7 different authors that are featured in my art exhibition. Let's take a look at Expressionism. Now we all know the famous Vincent van Gogh, and of course I've got him in here at the very bottom with the famous The Starry Night. Also, this is one of my videos that you can click on this image and watch the video about it. However, that's not what I want to talk to you about right now. I thought very interesting was the emotions that Edvard Munch used on this same waterway many different times. On this walkway, you can see the brushstrokes of the walkway and then the brushstrokes of the sky and how the colors are running together just as they naturally do, but the shapes are a little distorted with this type of Expressionism art. The man is clearly struck with fear, with his mouth wide open, his eyes wide open, and both hands smashed on the side of his cheeks, giving the appearance of him screaming in fear. So this image is showing fear. Also, we have despair. Using the same brush strokes as in the scream, he reveals an emotion of despair. The man is walking along with his head down, his eyes down, just about closed. You could just feel the burden that is on top of this man's shoulders. He's bundled up in his coat, which gives the appearance of it being a cold day by the water. Now, unlike the scream and despair, our next one that I chose was anxiety. Now, it was said that Edvard Munch suffered from anxiety himself, and through his Expressionism art, he expresses anxiety here in this place. The people around the person that is at the forefront are giving her anxiety as they are looking on to her. The walkway, you can't even see the walkway. It is so crowded. And so being around so many people is portraying the anxiety that she's feeling. And so through my exhibition here, I did use those in contrast because I thought it was interesting how he used the same place, the same scene, but totally different feelings. And that's kind of how life is. We all can kind of walk down the same pathway or walk down the same walkway, and we can all feel different emotions, and he expresses these very well. There are a few more that he has done, but I did not include them in my slides right now. Moving on to my very favorite is Surrealism Surreal. I love dreams. I love movies. I love motion pictures. Oh my goodness. I love the challenges to my imagination. And the artist that I featured in this part on this page is Salvador Dali, of course. I have a quote in here under my Surrealism piece here, and it's from Salvador Dali. I declare the independence of imagination and the rights of man on his own madness. You can see that quote would match his artwork very well. I feel like I could have probably done my whole exhibition on this man and his artwork alone. I hate that I couldn't do it, but I have really thoroughly enjoyed learning about him and exploring his art. I think probably my favorite thing is one of the things that you can watch, and that is Destino right here. If you click on this, you can actually watch the production of that magic movie. But I want to share with you this beautiful picture here. It just captured my imagination. It captured my attention. And I just think it's so crazy to think you can look at an object and look at the reflection, and in my mirror that I'm kind of sitting in front of a mirror here, I see exactly the reflection. But Salvador Dali takes a reflection, flips it over, and forces me to see a totally different image here. He does this in a lot of his artworks. And this one here, oh my goodness, the beautiful swan sitting on this still, calm water gives a beautiful reflection of them, the swans, but yet they look like elephants. The one left, on the far left, is the beautiful gray swan, kind of peering over into the distance. You can see the elephant ears and the long trunk. And its legs actually are not of the swan on top of the water, but as of the tree trunks that are back behind the swan that is reflecting down, and it's showing it as a leg of the elephant. The elephant's walking. I like the elephant and the swan that's in the very middle. That swan is face on with us, and that elephant is face on with us, walking towards us. Same thing with the legs. Those legs are reflecting from those tree trunks from behind. And the most odd one is the one on the far right. That swan is just bent neck over, stretching down, ruffling its feathers, and it's giving the reflection of that elephant facing to its right, walking along. And you're seeing the side profile of that elephant. It's just amazing, his artwork in just that. Also, the surrounding parts of this piece, the dream wispy clouds, add more character to it in that sky. Everything, it kind of looks normal over to the right in those mountains. It is a dormant time of year where there are no leaves on the tree, but he has just brought to our imagination seeing one thing and flipping it over and seeing a totally different thing. There's a book in my library. I work in an elementary school library, and there's a book that you can learn to draw these drawings and turn it over. When you flip it over, it's called flippies. When you flip it over, that same drawing, you see a totally different image. And my children, there are some children in my school that love this book, and they get it, and they learn to draw all these things, and it's just so interesting. And so it plays with your imagination. So this type of artwork brings out the childlike senses in me, just like my children at the elementary school get excited. I get excited about seeing this too. Now there's other artwork presentations that's here in this exhibition. And I want you to feel free to explore it as much as you can. But that's all I'm going to share with you right now. And I hope you have enjoyed my modern art movements. And I hope you enjoy the rest of my website. Thank you so much, and good evening.